In this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to create Google Maps animation in After Effects. And at some point of this video, you will find a promo code for a free copy of the plugin that I created for Premiere Pro to quickly apply effects. More about that through the link in bio. So first of all, you can find this project file in my Discord channel so you can try it, tweak it, play it, whatever you want. So go to the Google Earth Studio and start blank project. Let's name it tutorial, world Earth, dimensions, let's set 150, duration, and 30 frames per second. Let's start. Here you can see your timeline, your map. You have to find your location first that you want to highlight. In my case, it's gonna be, let's say, California, USA. Sometimes it's bugged out and you won't see the names on the map, but for easier navigation, you have to see it. So go to the view, map style, exploration, and sometimes at exploration you won't see anything, so you have to just switch it to clean one more time and go to exploration and you will see the names. So here you want to plan how exactly you want to see this animation, but in my case it will be the final position of the animation will be something like this, and I'll set it to frame 45. No, let's set it to 50 and set keyframe. Then go to the first keyframe and only change the altitude. You can play around with other attributes, but I like to use only altitude. Hold shift to move it fast and set it something, I don't know, something like this. Set keyframes just in case one more time. And let's see what we got now. Cool. Now select all keyframes, hover your mouse on top of the keyframes, hit your right mouse button and select Alt Ease. Now hover your mouse somewhere here, right mouse button and show value graph. Select altitude and here you can just repeat after me or play around as you want. So I'm gonna pick this handle and with shift to move it only one axis, move it to the left. And with this handle, I usually play around differently, depends on my needs, but let's do this time something like this maybe. Let's see what we have. So it's kind of fast at the beginning and then slow down at the end. But you can do something like this. No, too much. Maybe something like this. Yeah, also looks good. So now go to the frame where your shot is closer to the ground as much as possible. In my case, it's going to be first frame. Hit right mouse button, set track point, and click these three dots and set as local origin. Good, we can close this window and we're good to go. Hit render button, just make sure that everything is fine here for you and just submit the render. While it's rendering, go to the file, export 3D tracking data. Select local here and export wherever you want. Now we can move to After Effects. As soon as you're done with Google Earth, you have to get two files, Adobe After Effects script and second one is MP4 file. Go to the After Effects, hit File, Scripts, run script file, locate your file and just double click or open. You're gonna get this pop-up window, so it couldn't find Earth Studio footage files and you want to locate this file. Select yes and locate this MP4 file that you got before. Let's see what we got now. So we have this whole animation with tracking data, and this is the text just for reference. Good. Let's hide this text layer, go to the final position of the camera, and let's say I want to highlight only California state. Make sure you're somewhere at the end, select pen tool, and draw the shape that you want. So as soon as you complete with your shape, go to the stroke options and select solid color, hit OK, and adjust the stroke as you want. Let's say it's going to be something like this. I want to change color. Now go to this node that has been created automatically for you. Open up transform attributes and select everything except of opacity. Ctrl C. Hit your shape layer, make it 3D. And press Ctrl V. Now with holding shift, scale up your layer. Or you can just grab here, holding shift and scale it up. Sometimes it might be shifted. You can just manually move only this Y or X axis to move your layer exactly where your shape should be. So now we have perfectly tracked shape and we can move to the visual elements. So duplicate your shape layer. Select bottom shape layer, copy the hex code of the color, and instead of stroke, use fill color. Now hit this toggle switches button and bottom layer, set it to color. On top of your layer, you can apply any kind of glow effect. In my case, it's gonna be deep glow. So good. Now we want to emphasize the shape by making everything darker around. So to do that, we have to duplicate our video layer, select pen tool and click anywhere you want. Just once. We created a mask. Go to the shape layer, open up these attributes, and you have to find path. It's in contents, shape, path. As soon as you see this stopwatch, just select path, press Ctrl C, go to this duplicated video, press M, you will see the mask, select mask path, select exactly mask path, and press Ctrl V. Now, as you can see, we have the same shape, but in mask data. And the next step we want to do is to track it. So we selected mask, go to the tracker. If you cannot see this, go to window, select tracker. Just a little reminder, make sure that you stay when your animation is finished because you can see what's happening here. So make sure you're at the end and track backwards. As you can see, your mask will be shifted, but it's okay here because we want to show this effect somewhere here. So as you can see, it perfectly tracked until here. So we kind of don't care about what's happening here right now. So go somewhere here and cut out this layer. So what we want to do now, it's apply an exposure effect and dial it down until you like it. Select this layer once again, press M in mask mode, select add and hit inverted. So now this part of the video isn't affected by the exposure effect. Now one more time, select your video layer, press T on your keyboard and it's gonna open up opacity attribute, set keyframe, move around 5 or 6 layers to the right, add keyframe, and at the first keyframe just make it 0. Now we can animate the appearance of these lines. With the stroke layer, just open up these attributes. You can go to this add, trim path, and in this trim path options, play around with and or start attribute. So add keyframe at the beginning of this layer, just move a little bit to the right, one more keyframe, move to the first keyframe and set it to 0. Let's see what we got now. We can select this keyframe, press F9, go to the graph editor, hit right mouse button, edit speed graph, select this keyframe and pull this handle to the right and this handle to the left, and we will have something like this. I think it's too much of a speed, so I'll do it a bit less. Maybe like this. Great. So what else we can do? So usually when you show in the map graphic, you want to emphasize specific region or country. So we can use a flag. In my case, it's going to be United States. So I just have it here in my project. Just drag and drop it on your timeline. Copy the track point attributes as we did for shape layer and paste it to your USA flag and just scale up your flag. First of all, you have to put your anchor point to the middle. You can do it manually, but I will do this with a plugin Motion 4. So Ctrl Z first, set it to the center and scale it up. Now what we want to do on initially duplicated video, press M, select mask path, Ctrl C, go to your first frame, select USA flag and Ctrl V. So it's almost good, but a bit shifted. So it's the wrong scale here. Go to the last frame of the animation and scale it up as you need and invert the mask. Like so. Toggle switches and mode and set USA flag mode to any mode you want. In my case, I think it's gonna be soft light maybe? And we can animate the opacity here the same way as we did with this layer. Set opacity from here, 0 at the first one. What else we can do? We can add clouds to give it more depth. So you have to find clouds, PNG of clouds. As you can see, they have transparent background. Place them to your scene, scale all of them down a bit, just so you can see what's going on. Scatter around the scene somewhere, let's say like so, just for now, and set all of them to 3D layers. And as we did before, go to track point, copy attributes except of opacity, Ctrl V to your clouds. Now scale all these clouds up like so, and let's see what we have now. Let's move it a little bit to here. Other layer, move somewhere, I don't know, maybe here. Press P on your keyboard and play around with one of the value that allows you to move it in Z space. In this case, it's like so. So let's see what we have now. And to give it more life, we can animate moving of these clouds. So select all of the clouds, P on your keyboard, and play around with x-axis of each cloud to animate. So let's see what we have now with animated clouds. Yeah, cool. So like this. And what else we can do? Use text layer to show the name of the country, just in case someone don't know. This is United States, you know. Let's scale this layer up that already was there. Now let's type California. I'd like to use Poppins bold, and we also can animate it in some ways. So let's animate a position, holding shift and press T. We also animate in opacity. Yeah, so I played around and set opacity like this and position like this, and this is what we have. And as a cherry on a pie, we can select all layers. Don't forget to unlock your camera and select it too. Press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose, so hit OK, press P. With holding Alt, click the stopwatch and type wiggle, enter, and type one number, comma, any other number, and then adjust it as you want. So the first number is it's how often the layer will be moving, and the second number is the amplitude, how far it's going to be moving. So let's see what we have now. Oh, it's obviously too much. So I want to make the amplitude lower, say to 20, and the speed is good for me. No, speed isn't good for me, so let's set it to 1. Yeah, all good. And as you can see, we have these gaps, so we need to compensate them. So select your layer, press S, and just scale this up a bit. Make sure that it covers at every point of your animation. Yes, it is. And this is the final result. And here is what final result looks like in After Effects. Let's render this out and move to Premiere Pro. So let's drag our footage to the timeline and let's make a little bit of sound design. So we clearly can see that we can add whoosh sound here. I'm gonna be using Splice. This is the app with a large library of sounds. So let's type whoosh. Let's download this one. Let's trim it here, move it to the left a bit, and try to synchronize with the camera movement. So somewhere here. Let's fade it here, and let's fade it from this side, and let's make it more quiet. Select your layer, press G, -5. A little bit offset here, so I want to move it to the left. Great. Now we can add sound to this stroke, maybe some sort of digital sound, like bloop, bloop. Let's find digital. I like this sound, let's add it. And I like what's happening here. Let's delete it, move it. It starts being visible here. So cut it here, delete, fade out, fade in, press G -5. I would make it even like more faster because character this sound a bit slower. So press R on your keyboard or select this stretch tool and just move it here. Great. We can even add a reverb here. So I'll press Ctrl Space and type Studio Reverb. By the way, this is my plugin I created with my friend. It allows you to quickly apply the effects. If you are interested in it, you can find link in bio. So Studio Reverb, and let's edit this. Let's set room size a bit larger, decay a bit longer, not a bit, but longer, and set wet somewhere to 80. And what we need to do here, place your playhead at the end of the audio. Let's get rid of this fade out. Extend your sound, and with holding Control, press left mouse button here, move a bit to the right with your mouse, add one more keyframe and pull it down. And extend your audio layer for the longevity you want to make with your reverb. And what else we can do is add United States anthem. I don't know. Let's move it here. Yeah, all good. Cut it here at the end. Let's do fade out. And I don't want anthem to be so loud and so present in this case, so I want to filter this out. So just select your layer and apply EQ, equalizer, graphic equalizer, edit, and cut something at 16, 8, 4, 2. Okay, 2, it's too much, I guess. Let's listen to this. And to make it even more like filtered, we can just copy this effect, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let's listen what we have as a final result. Thank you for watching this video, subscribe to my channel, hit this like button, and goodbye.